So we will call this meeting to order. Like to remind everybody that the City of Perry's staff's core values. It's a strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, shows professionalism and integrity, is a team player, is accountable, and is a good steward. So could we have a roll call, please?
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler, Walling,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes,
Okay, thank you. And y'all had a chance to look over the meeting agenda. Did we get a motion on that?
so moved.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call?
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes,
Okay, next up is the consent agenda. It consists of the minutes of the last regular city council meeting. There are no contract service payments this time, which is unusual. Claims register and financial of $798,808.74. And we have two licenses and permits. One is a Quick Trip Inc., DBA Quick Star, number 1180, 511 First Street. Changed the update, the ownership for David P. Wagner to be treasurer. And then the Shop and Go LLC or does business as Blue Jay Market at 2810 Willis Avenue is a renewal of their Class E alcohol license. And the police and fire inspections have been completed and are on file in the city hall. Could I have a motion, please?
move that we pass the consent agenda as stated.
A second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes,
Okay, city administrators report.
All right, so did want to highlight one thing. I saw we just put a post out about it, but a Saturday or two ago, there was some illegal dumping of some trash and other debris at the yard waste drop site. So we were able to use the camera system. Josh was able to pull that up, get it to the police department, and we were able to locate the vehicle and the folks that dumped that stuff. And they did receive a sizable fine for that. So just wanted to give an update that that's being monitored and kept well track of.
Good.
It's being kept track of.
being kept track of well.
There you go. Thank you. So just a heads up on that to anybody thinking about doing that. We do have a new camera system out there that is very high definition, and we're able to locate that vehicle. And I think one of the officers, if not Chief Vaughn, was able to have a conversation with those folks. So just keep that in mind if anybody's thinking about dumping out there. I did send an email out last week with some just updates on our compliance process that we've been working on. We did kind of switch up. Yep. I blame it all on Liz and Mark, but we've integrated it into our GIS system that we have with Bolton and Mink. So we're able to go out in the field, and within that application, we're able to click on a property, it auto populates all of the owner's information. And then kind of have scroll downs of some of the most common violations that are quick and easy, able to set cleanup timeframes, and then attach pictures just by taking it right from the iPad in the field. Whereas before, you had to write down an address or addresses, come back to City Hall, get on Dallas County GIS, find the owners, type it all out in a Word document individually, print them, and then take the digital camera, download the photos, print them out. And so it's just a much more efficient process. And I think so far, I think we've been able to get a lot more compliance letters out in the first couple of months than we typically would have. Kind of phase 2 of that is Liz is going to have training sessions with the police department and some folks from Public Works who are just kind of out and about a lot that could see compliance issues and help collect that data that Mark could then go double check it, and we could send out those compliance letters. So Liz and Emily have been like on the Friday each week, are able to just download all of the violations and mail merge them into letters, attach the photos and send them all out. So just a much more efficient process than what we used to do. And hopefully that'll help us get on top of some of the issues around town and kind of help us get our head above water on that.
Just a
Um,
question, how effective are the letters in regards to actually getting people to do the work that they're supposed to do?
January, I kind of ran numbers, and it's hard when you look at them by a month because we do them on Mondays. So like, for instance, in February, I think our percentage was like 63 or 72%, but I had just mailed out letters on the 27th. So the 15 letters that went out on the 27th were in that total month calculation, but really hadn't hit their violation points yet.
Okay.
So, I think on average, I probably do like maybe 20 letters a week. And then by the time we get to the point when those dates have expired and we're sending them a final abatement letter, I think the most I did was the first time and it was like 16, so it was a ton, but now it's dropped down and I'm probably averaging maybe 5 to 6.
Okay.
So I think.
So we're getting pretty good compliance, is what you're saying.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel we are,
Good.
so.
And usually those,
Picture to map that's been spent, and you can see it's not just one section of town, I mean, it's pretty much the whole town as a
Mhm.
whole.
Well,
that
that's
is getting
good.
things
Great.
like that.
That's probably the biggest complaint that I get from citizens is like, we send out all these letters to all these people and they never do anything. And I'm like, yeah, I think that we are actually getting better compliance than that,
yep,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah.
this
it's hard
system
to know.
allows, it's so much easier to track that with this system because of how we pull them now all on one date. It's easier to see as people are hitting that expiration of, I think, 10, in between 10 and goes all the way up to 30 days.
Mhm.
So the abatement letters are going out faster and we're doing all of them kind of as a lump sum. So if you did got an abatement letter, a final notice, you'd have like 15 days. So then there'd be 6 of them in that 15 days that if they're not gotten done, then they go straight to Public Works or they go straight to getting cars towed type deal. So I think it's easier for compliance to track exactly the timeframes and where everything sits.
That's great. That's great.
really helps track for that follow-up.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yep.
Absolutely. And I think eventually it will translate to much better, cleaner town.
Yep. And kudos to the Bolton and Mink team for taking my word vomit idea and making it real.
Yeah.
Right, Jacob?
I mean, it's been a team effort. to
Yeah,
get this Going. I think
yeah,
it's wonderful.
So
Chuck doesn't have to drag you around town all the time, now, right?
he still does. It's our thing. Like I said, I think also being able to get other departments involved in that of just, PD is driving around, Public Works is driving around to different jobs and they can see things and just help with that data collection. I think that will also help and just also probably having different eyes on different areas will help. Sometimes we get blind to things because we drive past it every day. So
Yeah.
the more eyes that are on it, the better. So definitely well on the road to continuous improvement. So,
The other side of that is, if we drive past a few things every day, we oftentimes get encouraged to. Because of the good things,
Yes.
the good cleanup, the good care that some people have taken, and that's equally as important to me as trying to look for the negatives.
yep.
It's been my experience when as constituents come to me and they say something and I go to, Mr. Cole. He has a relationship with the property owners and it usually resolves right there. We did that with the apartment complex over there. And the owner of the apartment complex didn't live here, so he never knew that he was not in compliance. So
Yep.
It usually worked pretty good.
Yep.
My question, Mark, Spin, what was the illegal dumping? Was it construction debris or what was it?
Josh is on the call. I might defer to him on what exactly it was, but it just looked like a bunch of
Yeah.
different junk and wood.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I go out there quite often to just to, check things out and stuff, and it was drywall, uh, plywood, wood, metal mini blinds, some duct work, different things that don't come from a tree and or from the ground. So I kind of take it to heart because we do try to do a really good job to keep that area clean. And I don't want one bad apple to ruin it for everyone to where the point is, to where it gets to the point like we've done in the past where it has to be closed at different times. That's why that video system Sven mentioned is really good. And it allows us to I was able to download a video, send it to Chief Vaughn. We were in his office, we're able to look at it, and he takes it from there. So yeah, just some construction stuff that shouldn't have been allowed there.
Oh. I heard about that too.
Yep. Any more questions on compliance stuff?
So was the person that dumped the construction debris, was it a warning, a fine, arrest?
It was a fine. So I think in total it was like $595.
Okay.
So, and did they have to pick it up too, or? Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's not cheap. It's much more cost effective to go to the North Dallas County landfill with that stuff. So, next up, we did have a kickoff meeting last week for, we have kind of a weekly standing meeting for our local response team, for Tyson closure and just kind of keeping a broad range of people all on the same page of what's going on, who's doing what, just any updates. So that kicked off last week and have another meeting tomorrow, but part of that is helping the workforce out there in job fairs. So are you going to talk about the job fair? Okay, I'll leave Lindsay to talk about the job fair. So I think more to come on that. Chris has been working on our website to get some information out of just kind of frequently asked questions and just some general information as we know it so that we can share and try and educate folks of what's going on and kind of what actions are being taken to help out. So it's kind of my things, more from Lindsay on the job fair. So any other questions for me?
Thank you, Sven. So, mayor, council comments. Sven and I did meet with the governor last week, and our representatives Nordman and DeGreen, and they were attentive listeners and sympathetic to our cause. We didn't agree to anything in particular because we don't know the extent that we may need their help, but we kind of based our discussions on if it's the worst comes the worst, we might need this, this, and this, and they listened and were willing to have further discussions if necessary as we go down the road. So it was a good meeting, but like I say, nothing really became of it. We are supposedly going to get another chance to meet with her again in 2 weeks because we just found out that we received the City of Perry has gotten the Keep Iowa Beautiful Robert D. Ray City Award. And so don't know much more other than that, but on the 15th, we're supposed to go up and receive a plaque or something on that. So we'll keep you posted as that goes along. And then this morning, we had a discussion with Tyson's HR representative from and they informed us that they have come to an agreement with the union on severance, I guess, for lack of a better word. And so I'm not going to go into detail because that's kind of between Tyson and the union. And so if they want to talk about it, they can. But supposedly there has been an agreement, and there's some incentives for people to stay on till the end. And then there's some moving packages for people that want to move within the Tyson to a different plant, and the rest of them just get a little bit of extra pay at the end. So um, I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that in the media as time goes on. So any comments from the council or questions for me?
Are there any discussions in any way, shape or form about a prospective future for that facility?
So right now Tyson is the lead. They have a person assigned to selling the property. They tell us that they are actively doing that. They have a lot of interest and they
Well,
have
that's
some.
interesting because the Des Moines Register reported just a couple days ago that it was not going to be for sale for 2 years.
That's not what we're being told. So, and so we have to believe them until they do something that denotes otherwise. There are supposedly some good prospects out there. We're probably gonna have a meeting next week again with that person to try to get an update. They won't be able to probably tell us the names, but they can at least tell what kind of industries are looking at. Is another processor? Is it just a finished processor? Is it what's
So
it gonna
there
look
is
like?
interest.
There is interest and they are willing to sell it,
Okay, great.
is what they're saying. So, and again, we have to believe that until they prove otherwise. We do have Iowa Economic Development and Prairie Economic Development, and the area council is all actively searching for leads and people and are supplying those to Tyson as they get them. And we will probably also keep in touch with those people just to make sure that Tyson is talking to them. And if something would happen, Tyson falls down, we will find people that take those over and run with the leads and then try to force Tyson to act on them at some point down the road. But
That's encouraging.
They do seem pretty intent on finding a buyer for that property as soon as possible. So, as the mayor mentioned, some of their properties or some of their plants they do hold on to, but this is not on that list. So they have no intention of keeping it. And it really just they're gonna take some of the stuff out of the plant, but leave any of the main components to operate it as some sort of food processing facility. So.
anything else? Okay, we'll move to open forum. Speakers are asked to step up to the microphone and state their name and address for the record. Individuals speaking will be given 3 minutes. So Lindsay.
Except for Lindsay, she gets a few more minutes.
Lindsay Pizzuti, Perry Chamber of Commerce, 1119 Warford Street. I'm just giving an update on the job fair. So Wednesday, 3 to 6 p.m. will be at the Hotel Pat T as well as here at Towncraft in the gallery. We've had a lot of discussions and planning around the job fair. We've had an overwhelming response from employers. More than 140 have reached out to us and filled out a form with information. From all of those, there's more than 6,000 open positions that these employers are trying to hire for. So when we share with them that this is going to be a very small in comparison to what people think of with a large job fair, there's some disappointment that comes with that they're wanting to come right away. But we have set an approach that focuses on local employers first, to kind of share that as a platform to you all with that mindset of why not a bigger location, why not more employers, knowing that the June date is still being planned on, not wanting to facilitate a mass exodus in any way. We're really wanting to support that strong local workforce. And in doing so, hiring or focusing on those local employers. So we will have a total of 18 employers and the rest will be resources. So I think 6 different area resources will be there to meet with those in attendance. And so we're working very closely with DMAC and then also with our partners here at the city and Perry Economic Development. So this is kind of our first go around, not really sure what to expect in terms of overall attendance, but we're kind of going by what we are hearing from our partners from Iowa Workforce Development that are out there meeting with employees, that there's a lot of hesitation in terms of weighing out different options and waiting to hear what the union comes back to say and things like that. So we're kind of towing that fine line of too little, not too much, and then also too soon and not soon enough. So we know that a lot of employers have been in town and already doing their own job fairs. And so this is really our opportunity to showcase our local employers, a handful of other ones that are kind of regional, able to be commuting and just getting at least one under our belt so that we can plan a much larger one, most likely at the Armory in May, so that we can really showcase a lot more opportunities for these workers. So that is, I think I covered everything I wanted to.
What are the hours?
What's that? 3 to 6 p.m. this Wednesday, again at the Hotel Pat T in the ballroom. They do have some other activities going on, so we're just in the ballroom and then the Towncraft Gallery. We have a number of volunteers lined up, so if anyone would like to be there to help with greeting and pointing in the right direction, we welcome that, especially from our partners here at the city, so.
And I believe HERDA is providing free transportation from some
Correct.
key residential areas in town as
Yes,
well.
so part of their flex program with a set route. They have several different stops that they'll be from Tyson on the east side of town, north side of town, making a loop throughout that whole time period. They'll actually be at the hotel as well as one of our partners, along with Iowa Workforce Development and several others. So just one of several that we're planning and hoping for a good turnout just for people checking out what's available and then really elevating those local employers that are seeking to hire right now. And again, wanting to toe the line of making sure that the employers that are there understand that there might be a hurry up and wait sort of thing happening, but any questions in that regard? And then just another quick plug for our fireworks drive. Tomorrow ends our Big Boom Bracket Battle, so this final round is a little bit slow. Chief Vaughn, you have some work to do with one of your officers in the last duo, Alex Lott. He needs some support. Anyway, tomorrow at 11 is when that round ends, and then Wednesday we have our radio pie auction starting at 8 a.m. So you can help bid on some pies for the fireworks. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, not hearing any. We'll move on to old business. So the first one is a resolution setting the public hearing date for the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget. That'd be on April 15th, 2024, 6 o'clock right here in the Towncraft Building, second floor, 1122 Willis Avenue. We just want the public to know that they could come up and make comments at that time. So could I have a motion on that?
I make a motion to approve resolution setting a public hearing date on the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget.
I'll second.
Susie?
And Thursday's Perry Chief will have the notice of the public hearing. It's also in your packet. This is kind of a breakdown basically of like revenues by types, like if it's licenses and permits, property taxes, charges for services, and then the expenditures like by program, like public safety, public works, culture and economic development. And then it also has the information about the levy rate and how much our total budget is. So that's in your packet, and it'll also be put it on our website. And I'm also going to be working on finishing up the budget memo. So I'll have that for you for next time. And also in the packet is kind of a breakdown of expenditures and revenues per fund. So you can review that if you'd like. Other than that, I don't have anything else, but if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Clear and concise as always. And I appreciate it.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Okay, next item B is resolution approving and authorizing signatures on necessary forms for the community development block grant upper story housing Conversion Grant Contract 23 HSGU 004. And this is between the City of Perry and the Upper Story Housing Conversion Grant. We approved per resolution 041723B, taking place at 1306 Second Street, owned by the Nudgers Kearns Managers LLC. And the following contract 23 HSGU 004. It signatures the authorization for CEO change and signature for authorized and alternate signatures, and the mayor would sign on behalf. And to let you all know that they did request that I remove myself from the board of the Nudgers so that I can sign this document. And it was not a conflict of interest, but they didn't want to have a perceived one, so I have done that. And so we're good to go on that now. So could I have a motion?
I make a motion, we pass the resolution approving and authorizing signatures on the necessary forms for the Community Development Block Grant Upper Story Housing Conversion Grant Contract 23-HSG-004.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
I have concerns. The Nudgers have, over the years, done marvelous things. And they've always done their projects, completed their projects and so on. My first concern right now is that as that building sits at this moment in time, it's dangerous. The structure is wide open. Anybody can walk through there. I walked through it this afternoon because I was curious. And I found a small family living in one corner of the building. It seems to me that just for safety's sake, that situation should be enclosed. With access, with a key, with a permit, with something, instead of anybody in the world being able to walk in there, sleep in there, eat in there, do whatever they want to do in there and then leave. It's a mess. And I hate to say that because the Nudgers have done wonderful things. And they've always gone ahead and over a period of time, completed their projects and done them well and so on. My personal gut feeling today is that they're letting things slip. And I just want to draw attention to my concerns. I think it needs to have a little more attention.
How did you get in?
Walked in the front door.
Front door?
Everything's wide open. The whole building is wide open,
Well, the front door has a lock and key and someone must have.
but it's not locked.
Locked it. Should be, and there's a lock box there with the
Yeah,
key,
no,
so.
no. Trust me. I just walked up, turned the knob, walked in.
Well, I'll check with the Nudgers and make sure
Yeah.
that they get it locked up, but make sure that
But
people.
it seems to me that there's access to that building very easily without going through the front. I hate to speak poorly of the Nudgers because they've done wonderful things. But I think in this particular situation right now, things are sliding just a bit as far as oversight and in being responsible.
I haven't tried to get into it, so I guess
I hadn't
I
tried.
saw the door and I saw the lock on the door and I didn't think anything of it.
I have been driving it because I'm in that part
Mm.
often. And I've been driving past it and every day it just looks ramshackle and it looks deserted and it looks all of that stuff. And today I just drove down, got out of my car, walked up to it and started looking and turned the knob, walk in. You can go any place in the whole building. I just needed to call that to our attention.
It'll get taken care of, I can tell right now.
It's at 1306 Second Street.
I
Right
don't
up
know the
there.
address, but I'm sure that's the right.
I'm gonna go take a look too.
I'm gonna camp out there tonight.
The small family, you say?
Pardon?
The small family in the corner?
They're not there anymore.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Have roll call, please?
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Shot,
Yes.
Then number C, resolution approving and authorizing 7015 request for release of funds form for the Community Development Block Grant Upper Story Housing Conversion Grant Contract 23 HSGU 004. So this is basically the same that we just talked about, but it's the first release of funds to pay the architects and the engineers and the
The
historical consultant to do the work on the,
Yeah, the 7015 is the release of funds for the entire grant amount. It is part of the environmental assessment process that we have been going through with IEDA. It means that you have exceeded and passed the Section 106 review, the environmental assessment review, and we have published and had the comment period through the local paper. This form will get sent down to IEDA along with your environmental assessment. They will have a 10-day comment period. And at the end of that time, the release of the full grant amount to be used in the manner the application states will be released to the city of Perry.
Thank you.
okay. So could I have a motion?
I
please?
move item C, resolution approving and authorizing the 7015 request for release of funds from Community Development Block Grant Upper Story Housing Conversion Grant Contract 23 HSGU 004.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion?
Thank you for your clarification on that.
I got a question on that. It's just for the upper, it says upper floor. So the lower floor is nothing's gonna be done?
That is correct. The application from IEDA is for upper story housing. And so therefore, the funds can be used to create upper story housing, to do repairs on a building envelope on the second floor, and to create safe and architecturally correct access into that building to the second floor, both from the front and the rear.
Thank you.
They cannot do anything on the first floor until the upper story is complete and it gets signed off, and then they can work on getting the first story ready for a tenant down there.
Yes, it would be a retail tenant or what?
Retail, commercial.
Okay. Great.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shot,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, on to item D, approval of an aid to construction with Minburn Communications. So you probably all read the package, but the wastewater treatment plants reconstruction's coming to a close. They were going to upgrade the fiber, but the plan was not to do it until 2025. We'd kind of like to have it in there when the new plant opens, and so it's easier to operate and maintain. And to do that and speed up the process, Minburn Communication has asked the city for a $10,000 payment that doesn't buy us infrastructure, just buys us a move up in the schedule and gets them a little extra for having to move in and move out on that section a couple different times. So could I have a motion to approve the aid to construction with Minburn Communication?
I make a motion, we pass approval of an aid to construction with Midward Communications.
I'll second.
Sven, do you want to?
Yeah, this is very similar to what we did a couple of years ago with the airport when they were going by. We did help them with the cost of boring that up to the terminal area. So just very similar to that. But again, just basically to help with mobilization costs of their contractor to come in and get us hooked in a little bit ahead of schedule. So there's a lot of new components of the new wastewater treatment plant that we need reliable phone and internet for, of which we have never really had reliable phone or internet out there. So especially phone lines have been an issue. So
How amazing.
yeah, so excited for that to be able to get good service out there for phones.
Yep. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Shot,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes,
Okay, item E, approval to pay application number one for Frog Creek Restoration. It's the amount of $65,984.62 to Iowa Earthworks for the grading and steam restoration project. Pay application number one has been reviewed and signed off by the project engineer. So could I have a motion, please?
make a motion to approve the pay application number one, Frog Creek Restoration.
Wait a second.
A second.
Wake up, Chuck.
I have some questions.
Okay. Other discussion, please.
So this is the first payment. You've probably seen it been going on for about 2-3 weeks now. So just getting started, getting the clearing and grubbing going. It was an extension, a little bit of what John Anderson and his crews have been doing out there. So the recent stuff we've done, the contractor has done, has gotten some of the banks restabilized with new seed. That way that can start growing, as well as on the top side, you'll see a wattle, which is just a straw log to help prevent any additional erosion going into the stream. So they're getting prepared. Rain is delaying a little bit here, but hopefully we get things dried out and they can keep working through the grading operations.
I see that they're gonna remove trees.
Yep.
So if for every tree that you remove, are we putting new trees somewhere else in that area, or are they just gonna remove trees, period?
They have not planned on that. We are looking at the overall improvements of the park and a more broad master plan, and kind of how everything comes together there. But with the stream restoration, it was getting some of those root systems out away from the streams.
So these are really all just
In the-
like
in the way.
sucker trees that are growing in the creek bank that haven't been able to be managed. So they're just mulberry trees and junk trees. So it's not removing any nice trees in the park system. But I do know we've replanted far more than what we've taken out or have been lost in the derecho and other tree removal and ash tree removals. So
Good.
overall will be a net positive, and the creek way will be better managed.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, this refers to this being for the north end.
They started at this end.
So the north end.
Big
Or up by the
is
tennis
where-
courts.
Where the south end began.
So I would say probably Park Road-ish is,
Yep, so the whole project is by the salt dome, the city's maintenance facility there by the ball fields. And then the north end goes all the way up towards the residential part north of Park Road Bridge. So that's where they're starting with the most.
Excuse me, Park Road Bridge.
It's Park Road, and then what's the other one that's called? There's two names.
Harold Bailey.
Yep,
by the tennis courts.
yep.
Okay, at the south of the tennis courts is Park Road. I'm not familiar with that.
They haven't named two different things on Street View, and then, so it's Harold Bailey.
Justified in being confused.
Yes. Yep. So
Yeah.
north of that bridge is where they're doing the current excavations. They've cleared everything else out already.
Yeah, by Bad Shell in north.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've seen that, I drive by regularly, and it's beautiful. They're doing a very nice job of spreading things out, leveling things out, instead of a steep bank that's gonna fall in, and so I'm pleasantly optimistic that it's gonna be much nicer than it's been for years and years.
Yep. That's the plan.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Klein,
yes,
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shot.
Yes,
Okay, item F, approval of pay application number 13 for the runway 1423 relocation phase 2 in the amount of $70,228.28 to Manats Inc. And work on phase 2 of the runway, and it has been signed off by the project engineer and recommends approval. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion to pass approval of pay application number 13 for runway 1432 relocation phase 2.
I'll second.
Discussion.
So quick update, their dirt contractor was supposed to move in this week. That's probably not gonna happen. Uh, Ironically, the electrician was out there working in the rain, which is kind of what the pay request is, includes navigational lights, beacon lights. And then for the last couple weeks, the county has been working on finishing the road relocation. So the second pay request behind this one is our portion of that work.
Okay.
So that's what's coming up. Currently, the schedule is to have the new runway under operation in July. So it's coming.
So you got your jet lined up to land?
I wish.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Scott,
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, now we're approval of pay application number 9 for runway location 1432, phase 3. It's amount of $26,570.56 to Manats Inc. And again, it has been signed off by the project engineer. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the pay application number 9 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 3.
And I'll second.
Any other discussion than what we just had? Okay. Roll call, please.
Klein.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, next item, resolution approving amendment number 1 to the downtown housing grant agreement. The Iowa Economic Development Authority is present, amendment 1 for ward number 22 ARPDH 446 for the downtown housing grant project located at 1203 Second Street. The amendment will be added to new section 517, consistent purpose. This new section provides explanation and clarification for federal requirements for the source of funding, mainly pertaining to the housing being used for permanent housing. This resolution would approve amendment 1 and authorize mayor's signature dated 3/18/2024 on such amendment document. Have a motion, please.
Make a motion to pass a resolution approving amendment 1 to the downtown housing grant agreement.
I'll second.
Discussion?
So
This is the
Oh.
Tin Pig project.
Yes.
Carla's got this.
Come on, Carla.
Yeah. IEDA sent out this amendment. There are some projects that are closing and apparently there had been some discussions or use or end uses. The intent of the grant program was to provide permanent housing, which means a long-term rental lease, minimum of 6 months. The funds were not to be used for an Airbnb, for an extended stay, for hotel type leases. And this amendment is just clarifying that use of the funds.
Okay.
And this is for upper story at the Tin Pig, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, move on to new business. Item A, resolution approving an underground electric line easement. Alliant Energy, Interstate Power and Light, have asked for an easement request from the city. The drawings were included. The resolution would approve the underground easement line, electric line easement from parcel number 0215135003. So could I have a motion on that?
I move the resolution approving the underground electric line easement.
Go check.
That's out by the industrial park, correct?
I believe this is the old substation property that we own at the end of Grove Street.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yep.
Your
It's
house.
all staked out right there by 141.
I see. So
I'll second that.
Okay. Discussion?
So we had previously done a easement for a vault or a box. And I think this is just to run a new line on the north edge of the property to one of their poles to a different box, so. Not too big of it.
Roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
Shot.
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item B, final item on the agenda is resolution approving an application by Region 12. Through the Iowa Finance Authority for Home Down Payment Assistance with Rehabilitation Grant. And basically, we have to match the funds. The match would be 56.25 per project, up to a maximum of 6 projects, for a total contribution of $37,500 for the 2024 Down Payment Assistance Program. May I have a motion, please?
Make a motion, we pass a resolution approving an application by Region 12 to the Iowa Finance Authority for the 2024 Down Payment Assistance Program and providing necessary matching funds.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion.
Okay, you panicked me there for a minute. You all froze on my iPad here at home, but we're back. We're back up and running. This program is through the Iowa Finance Authority called the Home Down Payment Assistance with Rehab Program. What is kind of unique about this is that it is going to assist people at or below 80% of the area median income. And in the city of Perry, for a family of 1, that would be $58,450. For a family of 4, it would be $83,450. This program can provide not only down payment assistance, which is critical in helping them give the down payment needed to keep that PMI insurance lower and help their mortgages be more affordable, but we also have the ability to work with the lending agency to do rehabilitation on the home. Say maybe it's a good home, it's a good project, but the bank knows that it's going to need a new roof in 5 years or less. These funds could then provide those monies to get the roof replaced after purchase of the home, thus making the bank's asset that they are loaning on more valuable and securing that that homeowner doesn't have large ticket items within the first 3 to 5 years. It can provide up to $24,999 worth of down payment and rehabilitation. If the house is built prior to 1978, there is additional $7,001 that can be used for lead-based paint remediation and relocation. That would typically be used to replace windows, to do metal wrap, to replace siding, those types of things. The city match can be used to do either down payment or lead-based paint remediation. The application for this is due April 17th, 2024, with awards this fall in 2024. Typical rehabilitation activities that we see for this would be roof replacements, gutters, metal wrapping of doors and windows, lead-based paint reduction, mechanical system upgrades. That is the bulk of what we see. It can do other items, but that's the meat and potatoes of it. Do you have any questions about the program? This will run through Region 12, which is different than your CDBG programs where the funds are funneled through the city. This one would come through Region 12. If approved by Iowa Finance Authority, your obligations would simply be to provide the matching funds as the projects are used to potential clients. And then we would work with the marketing of your local realtors and bankers to make sure that they know that this is available for people.
Now, do you have a client-based list of priority people that you work with, or is this?
Since this is a down payment assistance program, we're working with your bankers and realtors because it's not really an existing client base. It is people wanting to purchase a home.
Okay.
That's a little different than our owner occupied, where we do have a database on file that we use to assist the city with owner occupied rehabilitation.
Would I be correct to assume that these are first home buyers?
Yes, sir. First time home buyer. And that can be anyone that it is the first time they've had a deed in their name. It could be someone who hasn't owned a home or had a deed in their name for the past 3 years, a veteran, or a displaced homemaker. Usually we see a product of a divorce and someone needs another house. Those are the definitions of first-time home buyer, according to the program.
Okay. And this is driven by the realtors and the bankers finding people who are looking for their first home.
Right, and we need to make sure, Region 12 will make sure that they understand if their incomes are within those guidelines, that this program is out there. And it's usually received fairly well because, as I said, it solidifies their first position because this is going to sit second.
Absolutely.
The home buyer would end up with either a 5 or a 10-year forgivable mortgage, depending on the amount of assistance that is received.
Heck of a deal.
It can be a game changer for a young family.
Absolutely.
So is the city gonna advertise that? Or is
Yep.
Region 12 or?
We'll be working with Region 12 to get our bankers and real estate agents together just to make sure everybody's kind of knowledgeable of the program and knows it's out there.
And we need the home buyers.
Yep.
Potential home buyers know that
That's Chris's
if they're
gig.
kind of on the cusp of being able to afford one, that now maybe
Yep.
that kicks them over the point. So,
Mhm.
okay. Any other discussion?
Go
Okay.
Hawks.
Roll call, please.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Carla.
Shot,
Yes.
Shelley, Klein.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 3430, they're behind.
Okay.
What is
Any other discussion? Okay, we will adjourn.
You just love hammering that thing, don't you?